Oh, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, here we go. Oh, you're so much lower than you. I'm not that short. We are about, that's funny because we are about the same height. Sorry, guys. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Good evening, Susan. Hi, Debbie, Bobby, Cheryl, April.
Welcome, everybody. And so, just like that, another holiday done. Check Valentine's Day. Finish.
And we hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. I mean, it was yesterday, but still. I
So,
hope
my daughter came into my kitchen this morning and she's like, Mom, you're already making Easter cookies. I said, well, it's to give everybody time that if they see a project that they find interesting, to give you guys time to shop and to find the stuff that we're showing you. We can't really be making Easter cookies like the week of. It won't give you much time. So
Friday, right?
yeah,
Easter Friday. What is it called? The Friday before Easter?
it's a Good Friday.
Good Friday, yes. Hello. Hi, Cassie.
So
Hello.
this year, I think it's April 17th. So you have time to shop. I did add a supply list of coffee. Did you do your supply list? Did you? Sharon, Jeeper, Maria, Jenny, Kathy, Susan. Hello, everybody. Hi, Camille.
Hello, Pittsburgh. Been to Pittsburgh. Long
So
time ago.
let's just briefly talk about Friday.
Friday, yes, guys. So today I actually released those of you who are on in Haniela's cookie club on Patreon. You should have received a message. We're doing a mini class on Friday. It was announced in the beginning of the month. Oh, you did it black. I like that. And so we are doing Easter chick cookies, and we released. I think you also released templates. It's pretty much the same design. And today I released a video with the prep that you need to do. Like you have to ice the cookie. So if you want to join us on Friday, you're more than welcome to join us. We'll be doing this design on Friday, February 18, usual time. So it should
And
be.
I think I'm going to open a Zoom account and get a Zoom number so that we can kind of, whoever wants to join us, Sally's already ready. Sally's ready.
Yes, I know. Sally sent me pictures of her beautifully prepared cookies.
She's always on top of it. All right, so I'm going first today. Let's get decorating. All right, so I don't know if you guys saw my story, the little preview of today's project. So first thing, the supply list. It's that cutter there. If you look at the top left, that bunny head, Amazon says they have only 7 of that particular kit left. So that bunny head comes with a little foot and a tail. So if you want to check that out, it's a really cute cutter. And then if you don't need this particular bunny head for this project. You can work whatever bunny head you have. But if it's a piñata, and so to cut out the hole to receive your candy or whatever you're going to put inside, you want to have at least a bit of a border. If you look at the picture at the top right, you see there's a bit of a perimeter left. You want to have a little bit of something there, or else, the cookie will be super fragile. So to make the shapes, I took out the oval, and I'm just going to hide, hold on a second. Let me hide that. So you can see the oval, I took it out, and then I used a heart to trim it, and then I put it back in the hole. So you can see there, it creates the bunny's face. And so here's my sketch on the left, and you can see my finished cookie on the right. So I'm going to walk you through that. Is my camera dance. There it is. Hello, Julie.
Hello, Barry.
I'm sure your cookies are beautiful.
Yes, Terry. I think you are just too harsh on yourself. Hi, Debbie.
Oh, Debbie might be joining us on Friday.
Awesome. I think that's is that how do you say Giovanna?
Giovanna.
Sorry, Giovanna. I'm sorry I messed up your name.
All right, so here we can see the cookie that will be where the candy is. So I don't have a spare back one, but you're gluing this one on a full cookie. And my cookies were kind of rounded, so I attached them back to back. And then I added a pink icing inside here. And then this is not done yet, but it's just to show you. Then it's 3 layers, and then you have enough room in there to put candy and stuff, okay? And so I poured Isomalt inside the hole. And I didn't have time to edit the video, but you melt Isomalt. It's in the supply list, and you pour, and you see there, and you get the glass element, and so you can
Did
see
you use your spray the shell? You know,
I did spray it, seal it.
I love the I love the hairstyle.
This little swoop, yeah.
Yes, very
Okay.
cute.
So now you can see, so I've poured the sugar and then I stenciled the teeth on. I didn't ice the teeth because I wanted them nice and flat, okay? So once you've got your, you see this one here, you could do it just with the hole if you didn't want to do the piñata. So once you've got the actual everything done, I outline the ears just so that my perimeter between, oh, you could fill it with jelly beans. You can fill it with anything you want, anything you want. I actually had bought carrot sprinkles.
Do you think the jelly beans will fit, or do they have to double up on the?
I think that if you get jelly bellies, the jelly bellies aren't that big.
Okay.
So maybe they'll fit. You can try it. I mean, you can, you know. And so, yeah, my pink icing here, I wanted the perimeter to stay sharp. So I did this white line, and that helps to keep the perimeter between the bunny's fur color and the ears kind of like sharper so that it's less like kind of wet on wet look. It gives it more of a precise perimeter line. And my pink is on the stiff side because I'm using the same icing for the nose, and I wanted the nose to be extra puffy. And so you can just agitate your icing, shake the cookie. When I say agitate your icing, shake the cookie, and that helps with the leveling. My camera's dark today. Better?
It's okay. No, it's fine. Maybe a little close. Yeah, that's better.
This is a watermelon. The color, it's by Americo, and I thought it made a really nice pink. So the watermelon is much darker than this on the bottle, and you don't have to take the colors all the way to the color that's on the cap. You can add less food gel and just make pastel versions of the colors. But it's a nice pink, the watermelon. And so I used the same icing, I just watered some down to paint the inside of the head there, so that when you look through the window, it's pink inside the mouth. But mind you, it looks like you don't even see it because of the carrots. So yeah, I was saying I bought those carrot sprinkles, but I never did anything with them. And I thought this was a perfect application to have the bunny's mouth full of carrots. Because we buy all kinds of stuff thinking, oh yeah, so nice, and then you do nothing with it.
They actually do like carrots, right? Bunnies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you seen a bunny with a carrot?
I have.
You have a real bunny with a carrot?
Well, I mean, carrots are like really nice and crunchy, you know. So I think that they like stuff that's a bit on the hard side for their teeth to get worn down.
So Sally is asking, so you poured your isomalt from the back and left
Yes,
the top
from
of
the
the
back.
cookie flat on a mat, front side down.
That's exactly right, Sally. I flipped
That way the gravity, right? You get the more space for the.
Well, and also because I'm going to show you in a second, I'm icing a bit on the sugar. So I need the sugar to be flush with the cookie because I'm icing on the sugar to hide that edge. So I'm just going to outline now. You see, so I'm icing just a little bit on the inside of the cookie.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding the cookie edge. Here I'm icing on the Isomalt, and it hides the ugly edge, and it gives it a really nice kind of like the mouth area is very polished looking.
Karen says that she experienced bleeding with the carrot sprinkles.
Oh yeah, well it wouldn't be a problem because
Better option, yes.
they're inside, they're not touching, like they're not in wet icing. So it's a good way to maybe.
Excellent question. Hi, Emily. Can you use hard candies instead of Isomalt?
Well, it won't be as, I think, like clear, you know?
I mean, I don't know. Can you get clear candy? If you can get clear candy, you should be able to. But the only thing is, like, I find clear candy, it really gets affected by humidity.
Yeah.
Even with I feel like even with the black edible varnish, it's affected by humidity. It's cool.
So here you can see, all right? That's what it looks like so far.
But you can give it a go, Emily. I mean, it should work. It might get a little sticky. That's all.
So,
thank you, Lily.
hi, Lily. Chantal, hello. So now this has had time. The other one, you have to wait a little bit. So this one's had time to dry a bit. And now I'm just following the edge here of the mouth. And you see this is the curve from the heart cutter that I used to trim off the oval there to create this opening in the bunny's mouth. And I'm just adding 2 ovals to create the like cheeks on the little bunny. So because of the hole, the face does end up being a little bit higher than I normally would have put it, right? Because I need this space here. But I don't find that it looks bad. Like it's just a little bit different than like normally I think we would just tend to put the face.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine, but I think that we would just like naturally just put it lower, more like it's quite at the top.
Oh, his mouth is open, so he's smiling. So it's naturally your cheeks are being.
I guess, yes.
Like when you smile.
So here.
Everybody's loving it.
So you're just shaking it to get the icing to kind of self-level.
I love his teeth. I mean, that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite. I love it. I love how you did that. The teeth are really nice.
So the teeth, after I stenciled a little square, I used my needle tool and I just kind of scratched that gap.
I think without it, it wouldn't just be the same. I think without it, it would kind of look like a little creepy, maybe.
Well, it would look, it gives it really the look of teeth, right? So there he is now. Okay, so he's got his little poofy cheeks.
Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining us.
You need to wait another time or else the nose will kind of melt. So you need to wait for those 2 white areas to crust over. This one here has. And now it's the same icing as the ears. And I'm adding just this kind of like little oval. And then I'm pulling with my needle right in the gap right here. You see? All right, so there. And then if you look at the face right here, there's a point, and right here there's a point. So I'm putting my eyes there. And they're not pearls because I needed to, I didn't want to put the pearls because I wasn't sure how everything was going to line up. And so you really have to know how the face is going to be if you're using pearls because it's going into the icing, right? And so I'm adding the eyes kind of after the fact.
It's adorable. I almost feel like it's a Mr. We need to name him.
Need to name him?
Okay, put our name suggestion. I mean, it's like Mr. Bob. I don't know.
So it's a 15 star tip. And you don't have to do this part, but I do like the little swoosh. So you're just filling in this gap. And it doesn't matter if you're a bit in the gap because the icing is stiff and it'll hold. So I'm just going from here. I'm tucking it under and then I release the pressure when I know I want to end, and it tapers it. And then he gets that little comb over, which I find really kind of like adds to the cuteness.
Yes.
So this, you want to let this dry inside. So I glued, like I said before, the back to back, and then I just buttered essentially some runny icing in the gap there. And then I'm just filling that with the little.
Now this, you could also fill it like if you don't have these, maybe orange M&Ms if you have, right? To kind of like
Anything. You could put green jimmies for grass. You could put
yes.
anything. You could put nerds. Nerds are actually a good size.
Yeah, those are good size.
Candy, nerds are a nice size for this. And if you go to the store right now for Easter, they've got so many things, like especially in the United States, like you go to Walmart, the seasonal stuff, they have a ton. So you see, I've added not that much icing, because when you add the finished final cookie, well, if there's a ton of icing to glue this together, everything's going to ooze out the edge. And so you don't want to add like a ton of icing. Then you're left with all this kind of like ugliness coming out. Okay.
Horrible.
You look at the transparent, like how clear that is.
Yeah, that's the Isomalt. Yeah, the candy, like colored candy, won't give you, or even sugar won't give you the clear.
You see, and so he's got his mouth full of carrots.
So Karen says, "Too bad you've already used Buster, because Buster Bunny would be adorable." Well, maybe you need to get Bunny. Well, Bunny plush toy as your. I love it.
So for packaging, I'm not going to put him in the bag yet because he's not dry, but it would be a gusset bag, I think, that would be ideal. So a gusset bag is, what did I use for glue? It was just royal icing. Is that what you were asking about for the cookie?
Yes.
So you see the gusset bag, it's different than the usual cookie bags. There's a bottom. So when you open it, you see, because this cookie is so thick, the cookie and the bag here, you can see, look, the thickness. It's going to fit nicely in there. And then you can add, here, let me pull out. You can add like this bag is thicker than the cookie bag. So you might need to kind of like fold it under, and you can get the tape. They have this really nice, like tape now that's used in scrapbooking. I'm blanking out to the name. Do you guys remember the name? It's like like it's like masking tape, but printed. You can get gingham, you can get all the washi tape. That's it, washi tape. They sell it at Michael's, and you can close your stuff with these pretty decorative tapes. So that's it. That's the project for today. So again, it's a gift idea. So the last few times I've been talking about Mr. MC, of course, yes. So like in the past few lives, I've been focusing on gift ideas, cookie gift ideas. And so I think this is a cute cookie gift idea. I think the kids would like that. You hide different things in his mouth. And you could make royal icing transfers. I've seen a few Asian cookie artists. They make mini transfers and put like mini donuts, mini cupcakes, mini whatever in there. How stable are the eyes? They're fine. They're piped on. I don't think the eyes are. What would be the problem is this little swoosh. And the ears, normally I wouldn't recommend. They'd be fragile, but because they're 3 cookies thick, piped, I think they're pretty much like structurally secure.
I would still like wrap it in bubble wrap, like obviously in a bag and a bubble wrap.
But you know what I mean? Like it's much stronger now that it's 3 thick. Monty from Montreal.
I like that. I like that, Leanne. So what does Isomalt taste like? Have you tasted Isomalt?
I mean, it basically tastes like sugar. When you buy the candies, like a lollipop, for example, well, it's just like an essence that they put for the flavor. So it's basically that without any essence. So it's just very sweet.
It's sweet. It's a sugar substitute.
Yeah, so there's
like it was a little lemony, the one I tried. I felt like it had like a citrus.
Oh yeah. This
flavor.
one is really just sugar.
Sugar. I mean, it's sweet. So, what did you do for the teeth? If you could maybe remind us.
So I did film it all, and I will post it as soon as it's edited. It's just a stencil. It's just a stenciled layer of icing, a thin spackling layer of icing, so that it's very flat and square looking, right? Because teeth are not so puffy. So I just spackled the icing, and it became like when you spackle icing and you stencil in royal icing, the finish is a bit more matte. So it gave it a different look. It was more matte than the rest of the cookie is kind of shiny.
Oh, I have to excuse myself. I forgot one thing for my
That's
project.
fine. I'll answer a couple of questions. So Sally, it's not wafer paper. The teeth are royal icing that I stenciled on top of the Isomalt. So again, if you guys want to see, if you're just arriving, here are the cutters that hold on, let me move Sally's little message here. You see the cutters? See, it's a bunny head. I have the supply list in the coffee shop, and I added the supply list to Patreon. And you can see there the bunny head. I cut the head with an oval. I took that oval out, and I trimmed the oval with a heart to create the opening for the mouth. And then I put it back in the hole, and I baked it, and it all kind of like became like a Franken cookie. And then the middle cookie is just the whole oval is out. And that's how I kind of created the layers to create the mouth opening. If you wanted, you could leave like the whole oval and just pour all Isomalt and ice on top, but you're using more Isomalt. It's not really fun to bite in it, especially if it's hidden under icing and you don't know it's there. I think it could cause a bit of a problem. At least they see it and they can kind of like get ready for the bite. Can you put flavor in Isomalt? I would assume, I would think so. You can color it. I know you can color it.
I wouldn't eat a lot of Isomalt, folks. Okay, so
yeah, it's not
like it is sugar substitute, and I think it's actually like diabetics, I think, can eat it. But one thing about Isomalt is that if you eat too much of it, it's also like a
laxative.
So I wouldn't like go and buy pounds and pounds of it because it's a sugar substitute and use it. It's used in the cake and cookie world, and because it melts at a very high temperature like sugar, but it retains the clearness. It doesn't get, sugar when you put granulated sugar in a pot and you start melting it, it's clear, and then suddenly it turns amber, and so that doesn't happen with Isomalt. So it stays clear like this, and you can add color to it, you can shape it, and the clearness of it is very popular because, like, look at the effect on it. Like, you can see the carrots clearly, and it's just beautiful. And I did have here a few lives ago, I did show the product. So maybe one live we can maybe do like a little Isomalt introduction.
Yeah, it's not toxic. It's just, like a lot of the decorative stuff, like like a
I mean, it is edible. We wouldn't be using products that are not edible. It is edible. It is fully edible, like I said. But do your research and look up how much Isomalt can you actually consume before you can. I mean, everybody is different. You may not feel anything. You may be running to the bathroom the minute you lick the Isomalt. But just do your own research, please.
Oh, Fawi, so sorry to hear about your son. I'm glad to hear he's doing better. That's pretty scary stuff. I hope he's going to continue to improve. Charlotte, the spray is a seal. It's shellac. So shellac is used in a lot of food things, and this is to block the air from the sugar. It causes fogging, and it impacts the sugar. There was another question Kathy was asking about royal icing transfers. Han, do you want to answer that one?
When you apply transfers, is it better to do dry on wet or dry glued to dry with royal icing? Well, it depends on the project, I would say. It really depends on the project. When you are doing dry on wet, meaning your transfer, like let's say I'm making a transfer. This is a transfer, so if your transfer is dry and you're putting it on, let's say you're using light pink transfer and you're putting it on navy blue wet royal icing, that would be a no for me, because the dark navy most likely is going, because it's wet, it's going to seep through the light pink. So you have to kind of see what colors you're using, how big the transfer is. If it's too big, then it's better to do dry on wet. I find dry on wet application, because then, like, if your cookie, let's say you ice your cookie and it's not super level and your transfer is huge, you're putting it on, you're gonna have gaps. It won't be perfectly level. So you have to kind of see what works
Project by project.
It's really just by the project. I personally love doing dry on wet, because I feel like there is no, like, the seam is literally, like, it sinks in, it just creates a really nice look, but it's not always possible. And for small things, for example, let's say you're trying to make ahead of time, you want to make a bunny tail ahead of time, right? So you make all your bunny tails and you can just put that on after. So you would do dry on dry, and that should be fine. Usually I do, but you have to make sure that the icing is dry, or at least crusted. Don't like squeeze it in, because you're gonna break your icing if it's not fully dry. And I use like a little shifting motion when I'm attaching the transfers.
Yeah. I have remelted mine. What I do though, when I do remelt it, is I break it. It's like I smash it.
Me too. It's actually, I actually filmed it. I poured it in I have it in a silicone cup, and then as it cools, then it's a really great sound. It's like the the sound for the, what's it called? The sound.
The stuff that's relaxing there. That yeah.
It's relaxing. Yes, you can break it.
So I don't know about the lollipops. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to experiment. I have not done this.
Oh, hard lolly. Oh, you mean the when you make your own lollipops? Yes, I think you can. I don't see why not. But the thing is, like, Isomalt, when you buy it already pre-treated, it's very easy to use. You just put it in the microwave. It takes, I don't know, depending on the amount, I'm gonna say 20 seconds. Okay, a little longer maybe. If you're making lollipops from scratch, it's gonna take you longer than 20 seconds or a minute. So you have to, like, I don't know how much time you have or how many you're making. And then obviously, I don't know if you can remelt I don't know how that works. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, it is different. Super glossy icing for the stained glass cookies. Is it just glaze applied over the top? Usually people use the piping gel or even corn syrup to make it super shiny.
And then again, you're coming in with that shellac to seal it.
Yes, to seal it. Have you girls made multi-layered cookies like gingerbread deer that stands up?
Like your centerpieces, Han.
Yes, I have. Yes, I guess that's what. Yes, we have. And you have. I mean, we do 3D pieces, but also like this. For this, I used melted sugar for the glue. It worked really well. All right, so I still can find one of my tools, but that's okay. I'm just going to, I suppose, use my.
Will be able to muscle through without it?
Yeah, it will be fine. I mean, so last week, you guys. Okay, let me just bring up my. Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's see, maybe I can do without. All right. Last week, you guys have been, our week before, been asking about basket weave. So I'm just going to do a little demo about the basket weave with different piping tips. Now, these are the numbers of the piping tips I'm going to be using today. Now, 47, I think 47, that's the most common. See, yes. So I guess it really depends. Like, like they have to disclose that information that that's what it does to your body. But if it doesn't hurt, if you don't have any problems, that should be fine.
Well, I think maybe also is they're all have different ingredients, right?
Yes. So this is 47. This is, I think, the most common basket weave piping tip. It has teeth on one side, and then it's flat on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. So basically, this is how it comes out.
And can you zoom in just so they can see it like more? Because it's very small. There.
Okay.
Perfect.
So with the teeth and without the teeth. Now, if you only have this piping tip and you want to make a smaller line, thinner line, so what you can do, you can take a masking tape and you can literally tape
your sealing part of it.
Yeah, part of it, and then use that. Okay, so if that's the case. Okay, another tip I have here, it's number 14, which is a star tip. Oops.
Sure, ask your question, Momi.
Away. So this is a star tip, and you can also use this to make basket weave. So I will be using that today on my project. Now another tip, this is a really nice tip to have, 44. This is a fine, oops, what's going on? My coupler is not
cooperating.
This is a 44, and it's like a ribbon.
Yeah, it's like a belt.
Yeah, it's like a belt. It's kind of.
It's a narrower version of.
A narrower version, and it's also a bit it's shallow. It's not as wide or deep.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can also use, believe it or not, you can also use round tip to make basket weave kind of design, but that's like, it's more time consuming. I'm going to show you with the, hopefully this will not rust over. I guess I haven't really thought this through. I'm leaving these open here. My coupler is very stubborn here. Okay, let me just cover up these tips so they don't get.
And this question for you, Momi's asking: Can she use corn syrup in fresh?
Made up from fresh egg whites? I don't see why not. Yes, you can. I would. I mean, don't use a lot of it. I assume you're trying to use it to eliminate the hard bite when it dries of real icing. Yes, you can. I think the PME.
I don't know, but they have different number system, the PME tips. So you have to check you Google, usually you can get pictures and see.
So you start with one line, right? And then.
So this is called a basket weave. So it's to replicate exactly what the name is.
Want to make that, you want to start the next line. So you see, this is the thickness that you need to fit in here, basically. So you want to start your next line so you can fit that line in. Oops. And then you come in here. And you have to fill this in. Okay, and then you repeat. Yes, I guess it does come out like a wicker. This is really popular for cakes. And then you just continue.
So ideal consistency for this particular project.
Thick. Your icing needs to be thick. Your icing needs to be super thick, because if it's not thick, it's going to spread and you won't get the results. Now I really like to use a star tip. Star tip is very, very forgiving. This is a number 14. You can also use larger tip, I suppose. But you will end up using more icing if you're using a large star tip. So the process is the same. And again, you pipe the line across. And now I'm making it a big, long, you can really like control how tight your design is. Now, if you need help, if you're piping on cookies, you can create a grid for yourself to kind of give you, an idea where to pipe the next line. And what's really great about the star tip, if you make the gap between the lines too big, you can just squeeze the piping bag a little more and more icing will come out.
Expand it.
Yeah, you can, yes. Now,
So Debbie's asking, what would you combine two different ones together?
which two types look good together? Well, I would say the combining around, like if you're doing texture, I wouldn't do two textures. Let's just say, like, I wouldn't do this one and this one because this is a star tip and this has already like teeth on it. So I mean, personally, I wouldn't like it. I would rather do a round without the texture and then use the one that has texture.
And the other thing is fill two piping bags so that you're not constantly.
Yes, exactly. I have one because I wanted to save my icing because I have struggled with powdered sugar here. Well, you can just do sections of it also. You don't have to do the whole thing. But like I said, if you make it longer, if you make the lines longer, you can, you don't have to do as many. And I have also done this with a round tip. I remember, if I can remember, with a round tip, which it takes longer, but the effect is really nice. And I'll do a star. I'll use a star on a cookie. You could use 47 and do smooth vertically. Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, absolutely. But you do need two piping bags. So this is the round one, and this is number 4. If you decide to do this with a round tip, option for a larger tip, because it will take forever to do.
There are nice, let's say you have a lot of cookies and you want to go fast, there are stencils. You could stencil them.
Stencils, absolutely. Oops, I didn't make my line I didn't make it long enough. But you get the idea.
You're a little bit off.
Oops. So that's the round tip. You can really play with it. I made like three lines, so it's a bit bulkier. Otherwise, you have to really like calculate that your line you're making is fairly thin.
That's it. It depends on the project that you're working on. If you're cookie, you can make your decision. And you're a bit also, again, a little bit.
Oh, sorry. It zoomed in, so I can't see very well.
Okay. That's what I'm here for. Oh, that's interesting. Cheryl combines the colors, so she used vertical in one color and horizontal in another color.
Oh wow, that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna look really amazing. All right, so you get the idea. Okay, now let's go on a cookie. Yes, the key is the consistency. So let's go on a cookie here. So I've got, this is a very popular and traditional, I would say, design for Easter.
It's a classic. I call it. That's it. There's
It's
some
a classic, yes. It's really evergreen, right? So for this one, I'm using buttercream. And I will have my buttercream recipe up really soon. I'm working on it still, so bear with me. This is a
So let me put up your blog. So this is Han's soft cookie recipe.
Yes, and the buttercream that is crusting is also included in the recipe on the blog. But I'm doing an updated version, okay? And this is my soft cookie dough that I use to make these cookies. You can see they are slightly domed. We actually baked these on Friday. If you didn't watch the live, you can catch it on a replay on Facebook or YouTube on both of our channels.
We've been going live. Gosh, now is it going on
2 years?
2 years.
It's sad to say that it marks the beginning of the pandemic, basically.
Yeah.
When we started, I think in April, early April.
So there's a lot of great content. If you guys want to look back at the replays, there's some old videos, but Easter's Easter. So if you look back, you'll find some good stuff.
I'm going to add some white for the highlight.
What's wrong? Is it real icing?
Yeah, no, this is buttercream. Uh-oh.
Well, what happened?
Thankfully, Jeremy's. Oh, you didn't see my bag burst.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, Jeremy's not here. I wouldn't hear the end of it.
No,
All right, I'm going to switch my piping bags. I'm just going to spread this.
A little technical difficulty. That's the joys of life.
So these are supposed to be kind of clouds, but I'm going to add sanding sugar to this.
So I'm just going to give a little tip for those of you that use royal buttercream. I find that if your cookie is frozen, what happens is your icing gets like very chilled instantly because the cookie's frozen, and it's a lot easier to smooth the icing. If you find that your buttercream sticks to your spatula, it's super easy to smooth because it's the cookie's frozen. Have you ever tried that?
Me, no.
Yeah, it just like helps to make it less fluffy, you know?
I love sanding sugar.
It's magical stuff.
It's magic, yeah.
It's not expensive. It's okay to bite into, like it's not hard.
Yes.
It's shiny, fully edible.
With this step, so that's great. So if you have little kids, they can help with this step. They
Yes.
love playing with sanding sugar.
I like the idea of an assembly line for the kids.
Were the two of you doing live classes or selling prior to starting the lives when you did? No. Well, we did. We didn't sell anything, right? Why are you asking, Bobby?
Oh, you mean in person? Okay, no, we didn't do in-person classes. We were just doing the videos. We never did in-person classes. Well, Han did a little bit.
I did a little bit, but not like a lot, like.
Not traveling around and all that.
No, not traveling around.
Local at a craft place, nothing crazy.
Okay. Now I made a mistake. Now that's a totally rookie mistake, but I often still use my tipless bag. So when you're working with stiff royal icing or buttercream, make sure that you use thick piping bags. Okay, don't make this mistake. Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
Excuse myself. Maybe you can entertain.
It is glitter you can eat. The thing about the sanding sugar is if you're new to royal icing, the sanding sugar really helps to hide a shaky or fat, irregular line. It really helps to get your icing to look perfect. We started doing the lives, Bobby, because of the pandemic, essentially. And so things changed for so many people. And so Han and I were also isolated and couldn't do much. So we started to do the lives, and then we just stuck with it. It has helped our business of the online classes, and it's created I mean, people come every week to watch us, and we sell our templates on in the coffee shop. And so this is basically how our job's not a hobby. So the lives have helped
I have
market
to
us.
say, when we started, like, I don't like to be on the camera. It's not my favorite thing. The anxiety kicks in every single time we go, before, for me anyway. So, but because of it, they say you should do more things that scare you. So basically, I really had no choice because she was like, "Well, you have to do it," So, and you also, I mean, I don't know, like it's not easy because we don't really see you. We're talking to ourselves basically, and it's a little weird. But now doing it for 2 years, it helped me a lot personally to kind of be more comfortable in front of the camera and just not think about, I'm not really seeing anyone. Am I crazy? I'm talking to myself.
And that's the other thing. A lot of people do the lives alone, which is obviously perfectly fine, but this gives a little bit more of an exchange and a conversation. It makes it a little bit more, I think, natural. I feel like it's. Hi,
Okay.
Joseph.
Okay. I
What
forgot.
the March kits are. I think it depends who you're signed up with.
March. My March kit. It's an Easter kit. It's an Easter kit this month. This month we are doing. I think. Oh, I guess I forgot to release that in a Patreon. I think I did release it in my Facebook group. This month it's a cupcake design with folded method, with the parchment folding method. Really fun.
We met in a cookie group, Flickr. I don't know if you know what Flickr is. It's a photo sharing. And so we met via a cookie group. Coffee shop here. Let me put the link up on the screen. So it's only digital products there. Here's Hans. That's the address. And it's digital downloads that we sell there. And then this is mine here. Or is this both of ours? Well, it's my handle is Montreal Confections. Her handle is Haniela's, and it's the same on all platforms. So here, I'll run it at the bottom. And her recipes, Han has everything on her blog.
Oh, thank you, Leanne. But we are good. We are best friends, so we are very comfortable with each other. And if you hear us joking, we don't mean any harm. We are, fine joking, right? Um, so this is buttercream, but the same thing you can do with royal icing, okay? The only thing is with royal icing, I would probably, like, if you're doing this with like 15-second consistency, I would wait for it to crust before you do your basket weave, okay?
Yes, Debbie, hit the like button.
What did you say? Lick button?
Hit the like
Oh,
button.
like, okay. So there is a new. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Facebook comes
Don't
up.
click anything. It's COVID.
Don't
Click
click anything. It's a link button. Well, somebody will come up with that. I'm pretty sure. It
Yeah.
would be funny.
Well, this morning on the radio, they were talking about scientists are working on a shot or something to give people to make them fall in love.
With what exactly? Or
Well, they're
with
saying
whom?
applications. So for certain applications, they're saying, let's say you've been married, or, and you want to maintain your marriage, but you've fallen out of love with your significant other. Well, you can take this shot and fall back in love.
Well, just take
Or
Xanax, I guess. I mean, that's going to be like all of drugged up people walking around. Really?
yeah, that's what they were talking about. Because they were saying, like there's, you can take a pill like Viagra. And so it's basically the concept, but the love aspect of a relationship. So
Okay, now, all right. How much is it?
I don't know. It's still in the trials. I don't know who's signing up for that trial.
That's crazy, I have to say. I'm doing the edge as well, but you see it's not very nice. I'm going to scrape some of that off.
See, Susan heard about it as well. They were talking also about a pill or shot to not love, which I think that if you're in pain from
Not
a
you mean
breakup,
like to hate?
well, no, like let's say somebody
Love.
leaves you
Oh, I like
and
this
you're
love potion.
heartbroken, it's just to love potion number 9. Yeah, that'll be the name. Anyway, it's so that you stop loving them if they've left you and you're heartbroken.
Oh, like you when you are heartbroken.
Yeah,
But then if you don't have any like you have to have feelings.
I agree.
Like if you have to experience not that I wish anyone, heartbreak or anything, or when
But
you
it's
lose
part of
someone,
humanity.
but it's part of you, and then you kind of,
It
I
doesn't,
think,
don't you
I think you lose empathy now. Then, like, if you
well,
can't see somebody,
you don't
yeah,
appreciate, you know?
we'll become robots basically.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's a pill for everything, right? I'll take a pill for, that person hurt me today, so I'm gonna take a pill.
Any volunteers? I don't know. The other thing they were talking about for that pill was arranged marriages. So you don't love the person, obviously, you're meeting them, that your parents pick them for you. And so you can take a pill to love these people that you're just meeting.
So now you can end here and add just your eggs at the very top. I'm going to add, this is a basket, so you want to hold the basket. It should have a handle, right? So I'm gonna do handle just by doing the, essentially, this is a seashell, correct?
Yeah, shell border, yes.
No, not seashell, shell border.
That's it, Susan.
You are basically, you see, when you're doing this, I'm kind of like tucking like, I'm not going like this. I'm going a little forward.
You're building volume under it. It's a two-ended tool.
Forward.
You'll see it under boo-boo stick or two-ended tool that
This buttercream, it's going to crust. I mean, at this point it's soft, but in several hours it's going to crust and you'll be able to touch it. I'm going to leave this as is. If this was just exposed, I would probably clean it up a little bit using the same border, but because I'm going to add grass, it's going to be hidden.
So would you do this design in royal icing or no?
Well, this design can be done in royal icing, but it is a lot of icing, I have to say. It's a bit, like, you see, it's a lot, I mean, a lot of royal icing. And royal icing gets hard.
Don't apologize, Olga. You know what I find, like I've seen it on a few occasions, kids getting cookies like this and literally licking the whole cookie, licking all the icing off of the cookie, and then they chuck the cookie.
Yes. This is a grass tip. Don't be afraid of this tip, guys. It's a fun tip to use.
I'm giving a tip, like the tip. What number is that tip?
It's a grass tip.
It doesn't have a number?
I'm searching for it.
Oh yes, sure.
It's 233, folks.
Hard, no, but it's crusting.
Can you guess what oh, I touched it, so that's good. I can fix it. I'm gonna put some Easter eggs there. My candies.
Do you have any left?
I do.
Did you go back to the store?
Not yet, but I'm considering it. I've been really like so happy to find some Easter candy here in Spain. So I bought like 2 or 3 bags of everything.
She basically ruined
Who knows how much I
everybody
like.
else.
Yeah, so I like, yeah, it's not really healthy to eat as much candy, but I do love it. And it's really good chocolate. But yesterday I bought excellent chocolate in a store. I will tell you all about it. Excellent. You will love it. Buttercream of my cupcake. Yes. All right. So now to make the little flowers, I think you've seen this in last live. This is just going to be super simple.
Yeah, jelly beans would work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jelly beans would be really nice. I actually have jelly beans.
So were you saying you'd ship those? Jennifer's wondering if you could ship that.
I will show you the cookie that is finished and it is dry. Here it is. And it's the buttercream that I used, okay? So do you want me to smash it? I mean, you could chip these actually. You could chip these.
I think if you could bubble wrap and package it.
It does get, you need bubble wrap. It does get, it crusts pretty hard, I have to say. It's not like royal icing, but it does crust pretty hard, which is really nice.
So you have 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Oh, you know what I mean. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Usually we try to keep it to an hour, guys. Like we're not, it's not like anything else is coming on after. I'm just reminding her. We realize you guys maybe have something else going on and you don't want, a 6-hour cookie decorating show.
You think you could handle 6 hours with me? This is where I was looking for my tweezers because these pearls, and these are amazing. I think it's Karen who is going to brag. If you can get these. These are soft pearls. You can actually eat those without breaking your teeth.
So, Momi, it's a different buttercream that she made. She melts the butter. Her recipe is on her blog, or it's going to be on the blog, this particular?
It is already on the blog, but the recipe I'm using, I added a little bit of butter, solidified butter, to make it a bit softer. But the recipe is already on the blog. Pink tool. So the pink tool, it's the pink tool. Again, this is one end, this is another end, right? So it has 2 ends, and this tool comes in 2 different sizes. If I can find my here it is. And also Sweet Sugar Belle, she has her own line of these are really in her line. It comes in a set of 3. I do have them somewhere here. Maybe on Friday I'll show them. It's really handy to have,
and they're not expensive.
No, they are not. It's really handy. It doesn't really matter if you are cookie decorating or not, but even cake decorator can get use out of it because you have to, let's say, pick up a little flour. You can scrape off little icing without,
any fine detail.
Yes. So there. So this is I would say, a classic design for Easter basket cookies with Easter chocolate eggs using buttercream. You can also use royal icing, like I said. But buttercream just comes, I feel like it's nicer with the basket weave. It just
very pretty.
So
I like the blue sanding sugar too. So thanks everybody. We hope you like that. Sorry for going over. Debbie's loving it. Kathy,
Thank you.
Susan, Bobby, Candice. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. And Friday, reminder, on Friday we've listed all the supplies, given all the prep information. It's all in our Patreon groups, both Pan and mine.
If you decide to use different colors, use different colors.
Exactly.
It's perfectly fine. We may also change the colors, you know, like it's perfectly fine, but the consistencies are there. So you guys can join us on Friday, and it should be
it's a mini cookie decorating class on Friday. We're going to be, you know, having the class live, but the people that are in the group that want to prep and join us, you guys can decorate with us. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.